The first woman created Hawwa, but she wasn't just the first woman. She was also the first to feel separation, the first to feel regret, and the first to feel loneliness. So how did it all begin? She was living in paradise with the angels, surrounded by amazing beauty. One day, a whisper, a waswasa, changed everything, and one mistake brought her down to the silence of the earth. When her connection to paradise was cut, she was alone. Under the burning sun of Jeddah, far from Adam, she tried to survive in this unknown world. She prayed with hope to meet her husband again. She begged Allah to forgive her. She wanted to fix the mistake they made together and see him once more. What does that tree, which changed the destiny of all humans, really tell us? Some people say there was another woman created before Hawwa. Her name was Lilith. But what does Islam say about this? Where do these claims come from? Now we are here with the forgotten side of Hawwa and her emotional life story. You are watching Religious Story TV. More than 200 Islamic story videos are waiting for you. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like the video to support us. If you're ready, let's begin. Prophet Adam was the first human created, and he was the most honored being Allah had created up to that day. Allah made him from soil and blew into him from his own spirit. Adam began living in paradise, surrounded by amazing beauty, shining landscapes, green trees, and clear rivers. But even though paradise was beautiful, Adam felt lonely. Every creature had been created in pairs, living in harmony. But Adam had no one to speak to share things with. Loneliness started to grow deep in his heart. Of course, Allah knew this feeling in Adam. He decided to create a partner, a friend for him. But first, Allah wanted Adam to truly feel this loneliness. Even in paradise, being alone is a strong emotion. And after feeling it, Allah would give him someone to live with. One day, Allah made Adam fall into a deep sleep. This was not just normal rest. It was the beginning of one of the greatest miracles of creation. While Adam slept peacefully, Allah Azza wa Jalla took a rib from his right side, the 13th rib. That rib was about to become part of a new miracle of creation. Step by step, that rib became alive. By the power of Allah, it turned into a human being. And when Hawwa opened her eyes, she found herself in the magical gardens of paradise. She looked with wonder at the bright green trees, the endless blue sky, and the peaceful flow of clear rivers. But among all this beauty, one thing stood out more than everything else. Adam was lying next to her, still asleep. When Hawwa looked at Adam, she felt a warm connection in her heart. She didn't know him yet, but with the peace and closeness inside her, it felt like he was part of her. This feeling was not only a gift from Allah, it was also part of the secret of her creation. And then, Adam opened his eyes. When he woke up, he saw one of the most beautiful beings in paradise standing before him, Hawwa. He is the one who created you from a single soul and made from it its partner, so he may find peace with her. Araf 189. When Adam saw her for the first time, his heart was filled with a warmth he had never felt before. It was a sign that his loneliness had ended. Now, he would not only enjoy the beauty of paradise, he would also share his life with a partner who matched his soul. But why was Hawwa created from Adam's rib? In the Qur'an, there is no direct or detailed explanation about how Hawwa was created. But in authentic hadiths, such as those in Bukhari and Muslim, we see that she was created from Adam's rib. Detailed descriptions of this can be found in both Qur'an commentaries and in the Torah commentaries. In the tafsir of Tabari and some other Qur'an commentaries, it is said, Adam was alone in paradise. He fell asleep. When he woke up, he saw a woman next to him. Adam said, "Who are you?" The woman replied, "I am a woman." Adam asked, "From what were you created?" She said, "From you." Adam asked, "Why were you created?" She said, "To be your companion." "You created," she said, "so you may find peace with me." According to the Torah, Allah did not create Hawwa from Adam's head, so she would not become proud. He did not create her from his eyes, so she would not become jealous or desire other lives. He didn't create her from his ears, so she wouldn't listen to gossip and feel small by others' words. He didn't create her from his mouth, so she wouldn't talk unnecessarily or cause trouble. He didn't create her from his heart, so that jealousy wouldn't enter it. And he didn't use Adam's hands or feet, so she wouldn't steal or walk without purpose. Instead, Hawwa was created from one of the most hidden and humble parts of Adam, his 13th rib. The rib is placed deep and protected inside the body. That is why Hawwa was created to be humble, simple, and close to her husband. Actually, these views match the life of Hawwa. In the event that led to them leaving paradise, she didn't blame Adam. Instead, she repented and prayed to be with him again. In Islamic sources, she is described as someone who supports and loves her husband in all situations, like the other half of an apple. In the same way, Adam also didn't blame her. He repented and lived with longing to be reunited with her. Now we are arriving at the most critical moment in the destiny of humanity. Allah placed Prophet Adam and Hawwa in a perfect life in paradise. He gave them all kinds of blessings without limit, but he told them not to eat from one specific tree. This was a warning to show that human freedom also comes with responsibility. Allah's command was a test to see if they would remain in their place in paradise. In the Qur'an it is said, he said, "O Adam, live in paradise with your wife. Eat freely from wherever you want, but do not go near this tree, or you will become among the wrongdoers." Araf 19. Allah told Adam and his wife to live in paradise and eat from its fruits as much as they wanted, wherever and whenever they wished. He advised them not to worry that the fruits would ever run out. Even though he gave them great freedom, he still set one limit. He told them not to go near the forbidden tree. If they did, they would be counted among the wrongdoers. This shows that the authority given to humans is not absolute. There are limits, and crossing them is injustice, zulm. In the verse, it doesn't say, "Don't eat from the tree," but "Don't go near it." This shows how serious the warning is. Some say the tree was wheat, grapes, or figs. Sufi scholars believe it was wheat or a wheat stalk because wheat is very important for human life. But the best approach is not to name the tree, because there is no clear statement in the Qur'an. Allah did not give the name of the tree in the Qur'an. He only told us that there was a specific tree in paradise and that it had the power to lead Adam away from success and happiness. The tree was not placed in paradise for eating, but as a test of obedience and loyalty. The verse uses the word zulm, wrongdoing, to show how serious the sin and the punishment would be if Adam and his wife disobeyed. In the peaceful gardens of paradise, while the angels and other beings were bowing in awe of Allah's greatness, there was one being left out of this great test, Shaitan. In the Qur'an, in Surah A'raf, the story of Adam's creation and the special rank given to him is explained, along with Shaitan's reaction. "We created you, then gave you shape. Then we said to the angels, 'Prostrate to Adam,' so they all did, but not Iblis, who refused to prostrate with the others. Allah asked, 'What stopped you from prostrating when I commanded you?' Iblis replied, 'I am better than him. You created me from fire, but you created him from clay.' Allah said, 'Get down from paradise. You have no right to be arrogant in this place. Leave now. You are truly one of the disgraced.' Iblis said, 'Then give me time until the day of their resurrection.' Allah said, 'You are given time until the appointed day.' Iblis said, 'Because you have led me astray, I will sit on their straight path. Then I will come to them from in front of them, from behind them, from their right and from their left. and you will find most of them ungrateful." Allah said, "Get out of here, you are cursed, and surely I will fill hell with you and your followers altogether." So Shaitan was thrown out from the presence of Allah. He no longer had a place in the beautiful gardens of paradise. Because he refused to bow to the human Allah had created, he was cursed forever. The jealousy he felt toward humans darkened his heart more and more. Being cast out of the peaceful paradise filled him with burning anger. He had to ruin their perfect world. But how? He was banned from entering paradise. However, Shaitan had the power of Waswasa, whispering evil thoughts. He could sense the deepest weaknesses in humans and confuse their minds by whispering into their hearts. Using this ability, he came close to the gates of paradise. Quietly and secretly, like a voice from the shadows, he found Adam and Hawwa. He was ready to make his first move to break their peace. He stood near the gate of paradise and began to whisper with his cold and sly voice. At first, Prophet Adam and Hawwa tried to ignore it. Allah's command was clear: stay away from Shaitan and don't fall into his traps. But the whispers felt like wind flowing into their minds. "I'm calling you," Shaitan said. "Why are you afraid? Come closer, I want to tell you a secret." Step by step, Adam and Hawwa walked toward the gate of paradise. Shaitan had surrounded them. He gave an evil smile and whispered again, "I know your Lord has forbidden you that tree. But have you ever asked why? Why did he forbid it? Because if you eat from it, you will become like the angels. You will never die. You will stay in paradise forever, just like those near Allah." These whispers echoed in Adam and Hawwa's minds. They hesitated. They began to doubt, becoming angels, living forever in paradise. Shaitan had found their weakness. He kept whispering, "Your Lord is stopping you from this. If you eat from the tree, you will stay here forever." Adam and Hawwa's eyes slowly moved toward the forbidden tree without even realizing it. The fruit hanging from the tree started to look more attractive to them. Shaitan had completed his plan successfully. He had planted seeds of Waswasa, whispers, in their minds and fed those seeds with doubt and desire. He smiled silently and stepped back, because now they were fighting with themselves. Then the moment came. Adam and Hawwa forgot Allah's command for just a moment and ate from the fruit of the forbidden tree. Shaitan's clever plan to get them thrown out of paradise had worked. In Islam, an important point must be explained here. In other religions, this event is seen as a sin by Adam. But in our belief, that is not true. The word insan in Arabic means the one who forgets. At first, Adam and Hawwa did not go near the tree, even when Shaitan tried to whisper to them. But slowly, the whispers changed in their minds. They began to think that the tree might bring them closer to Allah. In the end, they forgot Allah's command for a short time and ate from the tree. Even though they forgot, it was still a mistake. At this point, there is a hadith found in Bukhari, Muslim, and Tirmidhi. Adam and Musa, peace be upon them, once had a discussion. Musa said to Adam, "Aren't you the one who made a mistake and caused humanity to be removed from paradise and live in suffering?" Adam replied, "You are the one chosen by Allah to receive revelation and to speak directly to Him. And now you blame me for something that Allah had written for me 40 years before I was created?" The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Adam answered Musa with truth and won the argument." Some scholars say that this meeting happened in the Barzakh, the world of souls after death. That means they met in the heavens after Musa had passed away. According to some tafsir scholars, when Allah said in Surah Baqarah 230, "I will place a Khalifa, leader, on earth," it was said 40 years before Adam was created. As we can see, Allah had already planned for Adam to live on earth and be a Khalifa. It was written in his destiny. Returning to the story, the moment they ate the fruit, the peaceful atmosphere of paradise suddenly changed. In a blink, their innocence disappeared. Before eating the forbidden fruit, Adam and Hawwa were pure and innocent, just like children. In the form Allah had created them in paradise, they had no awareness of each other's private parts. They lived in complete purity, not knowing anything about sin or evil. In that moment, something changed in their lives. Their pure and innocent minds suddenly became filled with awareness. They started to notice each other's private parts. What they never cared about before now filled them with shame. They quickly reached for leaves in paradise and tried to cover themselves. This reaction showed that they naturally had a sense of modesty, and being naked went against the human sense of morality. Then the voice of Allah shook the heavens and the earth. "Did I not forbid you from that tree? Did I not tell you that Shaitan is your clear enemy?" These divine words hit them deeply with regret. Allah's command had been clear, and He had already warned them, but they had been tricked by Waswasa, whispers. Adam and Hawwa were crushed under the weight of these words. They realized their mistake and immediately turned to Allah, asking for forgiveness. At that moment, they took shelter in the mercy of Allah and said, "Our Lord, we have wronged ourselves. If you do not forgive us and have mercy on us, we will truly be among the losers." This prayer showed how deep their regret was and how much they hoped for Allah's forgiveness. They knew that only Allah's mercy could save them. Their prayer was a sign of their loyalty to Allah. Even though they had made a mistake, they still returned to Him. But now it was clear that they could no longer stay in paradise. Paradise was a place of purity and obedience, and they had failed the test. Allah decided to send them to a place where life would be full of struggle and tests, the world. They would leave the peaceful gardens of paradise and face the harsh realities of life on earth. Allah said to them, "Go down as enemies to each other. You will live on the earth for a time, and there you will find your means of living." This was a new beginning for humanity. The life in paradise had ended, and life on earth had begun. The world would be a place of tests and challenges for them. Allah sent Adam and Hawwa to different parts of the earth. According to some narrations, Adam was sent to Serendip, now Sri Lanka, and Hawwa was sent to the region of Jeddah in Arabia. Being placed in different locations, they remained apart for some time. This separation became one of the big tests of their life on earth. Each of them prayed in different places, asking Allah for forgiveness and hoping to meet each other again. They turned to Allah with sincere hearts, longing for reunion and nearness to Him. In Jewish and Christian sources, Hawwa is often blamed for eating the forbidden fruit. In the book of Genesis, in the Torah, it is told that Hawwa was tricked, then ate the fruit and gave it to Adam. In this story, Hawwa plays a more active role. She is shown as the first to break the rule and as the one who influenced her husband. This tradition became the reason why women were often seen as responsible for the original sin. Especially in Christianity, Hawwa was seen as the source of this sin, and this belief led to women being viewed as having a lower status throughout history. In Christian theology, Hawwa's sin was believed to affect all of humanity, which caused women to be looked down upon. But in Islam, Hawwa is not seen as the only one to blame. Islam explains this event in a fair and balanced way. It says both Adam and Hawwa were equally responsible. Because of the belief that blamed Hawwa for the sin, some feminist groups have taken another female figure as their example, a woman named Lilith. According to their belief, Hawwa was not the first wife of Prophet Adam. Today, the name Lilith is mentioned often. Lilith's story comes from a Jewish myth. She is said to be the first woman created next to Adam before Hawwa, but Lilith is not described as an ordinary woman. She is seen as a symbol of freedom and independence. In this belief, while Hawwa was created from Adam's rib, Lilith was created like Adam, from clay. Because of this equal creation, Lilith refused to let Adam rule over her. She wanted to be equal to him. When Adam tried to command her, Lilith had a difficult choice to make. Either stay in the Garden of Paradise and obey Adam, or leave paradise to keep her freedom. Lilith chose the second option and left paradise. She went to live near the Red Sea. This decision led to her exile, but Lilith refused to give up her freedom. It is said that Allah sent angels to bring her back, but she resisted and refused, astaghfirullah, even her creator. After this, Adam asked for someone to be with him, and Allah created Hawwa. So Hawwa took Lilith's place, but over time, Lilith's rebellion and refusal to return became a legend. People who feared Lilith harming babies wore charms with the names of the angels who were sent to bring her back. According to the myth, Lilith became jealous of Adam and Hawwa's happiness and took the shape of a snake to trick Hawwa. She convinced her to eat the forbidden fruit, which led to Adam and Hawwa being sent out of paradise. Lilith's story is not found in the Christian Bible and is not accepted in Christianity. It is also not mentioned in the Qur'an or anywhere in Islamic belief. The idea that Lilith was Adam's first wife only appears in Jewish mythology. It is believed that Lilith's story was removed from the Bible because it did not match the patriarchal system in Jewish and Christian societies. For this reason, modern feminist movements have made Lilith a symbol. She's become a figure for women who resist male control and stand for freedom. Even today, Lilith is seen in some parts of modern culture as a symbol of the woman's struggle. However, as mentioned before, Islam completely rejects this idea. Now, let's return to the powerful events that Hawwa experienced after being sent down to earth. Allah Azza wa Jalla sent Adam and his wife Hawwa down from the heavens to the earth on the same day they were created, Friday before sunset. When Hawwa arrived on earth, her height reached the skies. Just like Prophet Adam, her feet stood firmly on the ground, while her head rose toward the heavens. With her majestic form, she could hear the tasbih, praises, of the angels. These sounds reminded her of paradise and brought her peace. But then Allah reduced the height of both Adam and Hawwa to 6 cubits, about 40 meters. From that moment on, neither of them could hear the praises of the angels anymore. This was part of Hawwa's test on earth. She now had to get used to this new life and endure the pain of being far from paradise. She found herself in the hot and dry land of Jeddah in Arabia. At that moment, she felt truly alone, surrounded by emptiness. Being far from Adam filled her with deep sorrow and helplessness. In paradise, everything had been so easy. Needs were met instantly, and peace was everywhere. But life in this new world was different. As time passed, the longing inside Hawwa grew stronger. Far away, thousands of kilometers away, Prophet Adam felt the same way. He often prayed to his Lord, begging for forgiveness, for himself and his wife. Both of them knew, deep inside, that this separation was a test. Hawwa spent her days in Jeddah with prayer and patience. Her strong character helped her survive. Now she had to work hard to live. With the teachings of Jibril, alayhi salam, she learned how to stay alive. She faced the harshness of nature, learned to care for plants and to tame animals. Though she adapted to life on earth, her longing for paradise never left her. Every morning, she hoped for the moment she would see Adam again. Even though they both prayed many times to be reunited, those prayers had not yet been answered. Until the moment when Adam prayed, "O Allah, forgive me for the sake of Muhammad." After this prayer, Allah accepted his repentance. Allah asked him, "How do you know about Muhammad?" Adam replied, "My Lord, when you gave life to my body, I opened my eyes and saw the name Muhammad written beside your name. At that moment I thought, the one whose name is written beside my Lord's must be his most beloved servant. That is why I asked for your forgiveness for his sake." Allah answered, "Yes, you have spoken the truth, O Adam. He is indeed my most beloved servant. He will be the last prophet from your descendants. For his sake, I forgive you and Hawwa." And the long wait was finally over. The first husband and wife of humanity were reunited at Mount Arafat. The storm in Hawwa's heart calmed the moment she saw Adam. Arafat was not just the place of their meeting, it became the sign of a new beginning. Hawwa found peace beside her husband, and together they took the first steps into their new life on earth. After this joyful reunion, Allah commanded Adam to build the Kaaba. It would be the first place on earth dedicated to worshipping Allah. Following this command, Adam began walking toward Makkah. According to narrations, Jibril alayhi salam showed him the location of the Kaaba, and together they laid its foundation. While building this holy structure, Adam felt deep spirituality. Each stone he placed was a symbol of his devotion to Allah. When the Kaaba was completed, Adam was taught how to perform tawaf. This act of walking around the Kaaba became the first form of worship and submission to Allah on earth. After completing this noble task, Adam went with Hawwa to live in Damascus and begin a new life. Hawwa, already known as the first woman, was now about to earn another title, the first mother. As the first mother of humanity, Hawwa carried a great responsibility to continue the human generation. A new chapter in human history had begun. These lands would become the place where people began to multiply. With Allah's blessing, Hawwa gave birth 21 times. In the first 20 births, she had twins each time, one boy and one girl. These children were the first blossoms of the human family. But during the 21st birth, something different happened. This time, only one baby boy was born, Prophet Shith. This child was one of the greatest gifts Allah gave to Adam and Hawwa. Shith would play a very important role in continuing humanity and would become a prophet, guiding people. But human history was not only filled with beauty. One of the most painful moments in Hawwa's life came from a tragic event between her own children. A disagreement between Qabil and Habil led to the first murder in human history. Hawwa experienced the greatest pain a mother could face. She had to bury one child while losing another to evil. This heartbreaking event filled her heart with sorrow. Adam and Hawwa mourned for 100 years, grieving the loss of their children. Many years passed. According to some sources, Adam lived until the age of 2000. Hawwa passed away 40 years after him, as Allah had decreed. Although there is no clear evidence about where she was buried, many narrations say she died near Makkah and was buried in the Jannat al-Mu'alla cemetery. But another belief says that she lies in a giant grave in Sri Lanka, resting beside Adam. Perhaps the most painful moment in Hawwa's life was the day her sons Qabil and Habil fought, and it ended in death. The moment one son killed the other was likely the darkest day of her life. This tragic event brought a deep sadness not only to her, but to all of humanity. Sadly, the world that witnessed Hawwa's tears still hasn't found peace. Today, there are 8 billion people on Earth. We are all children and grandchildren of Hawwa. But like Qabil and Habil's fight, much of human history is filled with wars, conflicts between brothers, and innocent blood being spilled without reason. Every day, thousands of innocent people, women, children, and others, become victims of these conflicts. If Hawwa were alive today, she would surely look at the state of humanity with great sorrow. Her heart wouldn't be able to bear seeing her children killing one another. But we, instead of standing up, continue to close our eyes and say, "This is not our problem." Remember what the Prophet ﷺ said, "Whoever stops a wrong from happening, that wrong will not harm him." So even if we can't change everything, at the very least, let us speak out against injustice so that one day the same fate doesn't reach us. We've come to the end of our video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more videos like this. Share your thoughts in the comments and let us know which topics you'd like to see next. See you in the next video. May Allah protect you.